It says we're live, however, usually you can see, there we go. Are we live? Lively! Okay, I think we're live. Okay, good. Good morning, thank you very much for joining. And today we are hopefully going to finish off this McLaren Speedtail fully leaded edit. And for some reason, they have changed, or maybe I've done something, but the setup was different for this video. So I feel a little bit, what word am I looking for here? Anyway, so I think first thing this morning, we're going to just join this bit up with this bit, and then we can finish it off. So we're just going to have a look and make sure that we're happy with all these surfaces. So if I turn on the wireframe, before we join this up with this, as you can see, we've pretty much halved the amount of geometry on here. So we just need to apply the subdivision modifier, which will essentially convert it to this this density. Then we can just join those up and finish it off. So actually, let's see how close we are to that. So if we just isolate these two, and let's see how they would join. So they would go down a little bit. So actually we need to fix that. So those are dragging those down. So we just need to raise those up. We could always try that, but I don't think that's gonna... No, we don't think we want to do that, do we? Okay, so what we want to do is you want to pull these out so that the actual geometry is matching up with this rather than the vertices. So what that will mean is we've got a little bit of an inflection here anyway, actually, which I've just noticed. So that needs to come up. But yeah, let's pull these out. So let's look in this view. Oh, let's shade this one up so we've got a nice pretty view to be looking at. There we go. And over here, we're just gonna, what's the best view to do this? Probably side view. So we're just gonna turn off snapping, and we're just gonna pull this out, and we're just gonna align that so it's roughly going towards, or roughly at that point there. So let's go in front view, pull it out like this, and then back down, and so if it's lined up in front view, we can just pull it back. So we can just go tap, 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 move it to the left, and then in side view, that's not side view, we just pull it back so that they line up there very nicely. Then let's move up here. Let's do the same thing. So we're going to be lining up that one. So zoom right in, nudge it up, and then in side view, this time we'll be moving forward. There we go, like that. Then let's move to the next one, which is over here. And this one's off a little bit like that, which is interesting. Oh, actually moving that one over has moved that one as well. So we might need to move it back over. So we might need to move this one back over like that. And then move it back down. Let's have a look what else has gone out of place there. So that's okay. That's okay. Right, so let's do this one first. Let's move that over, down a little bit, side view, and move it back. It's a little bit tricky to see, but it's basically, oh, there it is, it's on there, that's good. So now let's readdress this one. And we are looking at this one here. So let's move that back. And in front view, let's move it over like that. So it's looking good. So now it's moved this one out of place. There we go. So once we've got this bottom row in place, we can just readjust those. I had not anticipated that actually, so a little lesson learnt there. Right, so we're doing this one now. So in front view, it's looking good. And then side view, just nudged back a touch like that. Then let's move this one down. Let's see if it's moved. So it has moved this one a little bit. So let's move that one back up. And it's probably moved this one as well. Let's move those down and over. Okay, there we go, like that. Let's go back to the original one that we were working on, which is that one. Let's move it forward in Y, like that. And let's move down here, and then let's grab this one in front view. So let's align that there with that one. Of course, it's going to nudge that one out the way. So let's move that back up. Let's move this one back in. Let's move that one. And this one. And then that one. That's good. Okay. And then this one. Is that what we're lining that up with? Nope. Nope. Oh, it's like we're lining it up with that one. So that's going to go down like that. And let's move that over so it's aligned with that. And then let's pull this one back a touch so we've got a nice movement from these. And I'm just going to mute very quickly to have a little sip of water. One moment, please. Thank you very much. And right, where were we? Where were we? So is this what we want to happen? So these are, in this view, these are going down, 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 and then they flick back up. So I'm just wondering, is that what we want? And I'm not sure it is. So what I'm going to do, because it's not doing that up here, is it? So this is just going down, and up here it's starting to flick up. I don't think we've got any such flick, or maybe there's a little one just there. So maybe we'll leave it, but what we'll do instead is we'll slide that one down a touch like that, and we'll move it over, and then we'll just move that to join up with that. So we've reduced the flick, and let's move this one up a little bit as well. And actually let's move this down even further to reduce the flick even more. And let's see what happens, how far off it is if I move it there. So that would be quite far off, wouldn't it? Okay, what happens if I snap it? Okay, so that would give us a funny there, so that's not what we want. Okay, so this is best fixed while we're still in, before we do the apply the subdivision modifier here. So we do have a bit of a dip there actually, so these two lines are not working at all. Let's have a look at the reference and see what, if that gives us any clues. So yeah, as you can see over here, where's our before and after? So that's before, and that's what we're working with. So we've pulled this point up, and then we've broken that line. So when this was built, this would have been one big patch, and then this would have been cut out. So this would be a nice curve going all the way around. Whereas what we've done, because we've pulled this up, we've got this kick here, which we should try and fix. And I wonder if we need to, I think we might have to get all of these involved a little bit as well, because it's, or do we? We could just lower these a little bit. Could lower those. But they are running quite nicely actually. So let's have a look at our reference, where did I put it? This plane. Let's move that into there. Let's see if we can utilize that somehow. So we're going to just pull that forward like that. And then what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and snap this edge to that guide plane and see if we can get a nice continuous curve going all the way around. So for this, what we're going to do is we are going to, right, what we're going to do here is we're going to get rid of that flange. So we're going to get rid of this. And we're going to do that with this. So let's just select all of those like this. There we go. Very carefully, precision selection there. And then we're going to just grab these, all thereabouts, maybe even these ones too. And then we're going to merge by distance, 45, so they're all individual. And we're just going to do a little clean up there of those, get rid of a few triangles. Right, and then what we're going to do, let's bring back that guide. Right, so we've got our guide. Let's move the bonnet for a sec. So let's have a look. So yeah, if we go from, what we could do here actually is we could, because we're happy with that center one, so we could just snap to that. So if we just separate that, let's hide those, and then let's just go up and over. So that one, these two, or this edge is basically lined up with the front of our bonnet. Let's hide this again. So that's aligned there. The top looks pretty close to where we want it, I think. So what we're going to do now is, that might be a little bit flat there, but let's just go with it for now and then we can fix it. later if it doesn't look good. So we're going to isolate these components, and let's look in top view, and then let's select, make sure nothing's selected. Actually, let's quickly snap that to that, and then let's go and select these, all of that edge there, and that there, and that one there. And actually we can just select the whole thing really there. Let's go all the way back, and now we're going to do face project, snapping on. Let's isolate those parts in this view, and then we're going to go G for move, and it's moved that whole edge up. So now that edge should be nice without any breaks in it. That's good. But we have created a bit of a scoop there, or a volcano that goes up to there. And what do we think about that? I don't mind it. What do you think? The only thing we do need to do is delete custom split normals and shade smooth. Oh, we probably have to merge by distance as well. So select all, merge by distance, 1000. Okay, and then, so we're doing polygon modeling here on the front and sub D on the back. And not unfortunately, just to save time, I think I'm going to keep it that way. So what that means is we're going to be manipulating the normals on these patches to get better surfaces, as opposed to manipulating the surfaces to get better surfaces, if that makes sense. So what that means is we're going to use weighted normals to fix areas. So for example here, to fix this, what I'm going to try and do is just select an area, for example, and we're going to go set from faces, and although it fixes some areas, it ruins others, so we just got to do that strategically. Right, so let's have a look. Let's fix this first. So are we happy with that overall? I think so. So let's go back to this. Let's finish aligning these up. So we've got an additional one row there, which we will probably delete once we've applied the subdivision modifier. So let's just align those again. That's gone way too far forward. So let's move it back. Let's turn off. I think that's because I had snapping off on. Okay, so that one's good. Let's move that one up. What's the next one? That one down. This one. So we're lining this one up. Or actually, or are we? No, I think we need to line these, don't we? Okay, that one. And that one. And this one. Okay, so we're going to have to make a bit of a change up here, but let's get back to that one. Okay, that's good. Okay, and then let's go in side view. Let's fix that one. This one. It's looking good. Okay, and then this one. And this one. And this one. And this one. Good. So that is looking good. Okay, that's good. And then let's just fix those lines inside view. So let's go, all right, front view down here. The peak is this one, well, these two really, so let's do them together. So we're going to isolate those, turn subdivision off, and let's just realign those so we've got a nice flow. So those are looking okay. Does that one want to go up? Or is that following that? Let's do a little bit of a move there, shall we? So we're looking for the movement of the vertices to be consistent. So these, for example, we've got, look at this shape here compared to this one. So it's slowly rotating towards the back in top view. But as well as that, make sure that the width between these two is consistent as well. So at the moment, it looks pretty good. Looks like perhaps it could become a little bit thinner here like this, and then it tapers towards the back. So these could potentially, oops, this one, well actually no, let's go this way. So this one could splay out a little bit more there, and then this one a bit more there. This one maybe over a touch, and let's go back to side view. And then in side view, the same thing really. So this is going to be the narrowest here, and then as it goes towards the back, it's going to become wider, and it tapers out to the widest back here. It looks like I've got a little bit of a flat spot just there. Let's slide these back a touch. So that's good. This one still looks a little bit flat. And there we go. A couple of little adjustments there. Maybe that one up a touch. Or maybe both of those up a touch like that. In top view. There we go. That's looking good. Let's move that on. There we go. Okay. Let's turn everything back on. And so we're not sure about what's going on here. So this line here is a nice constant. There's a bit of a zigzagging there, but we can potentially, that might be remedied, maybe not. So in this instance, what we're going to do, I think, is we're going to just slide that back a touch. And then when we attach these two, I'm going to join this to this one because I think it just needs it a little bit. So this one here could go back a touch as well. And again, once I put the subdivision modifier on, we can then attach these to this rather than the other way around. So let's have a look at this view actually. So these are not flowing. So what we want to do here is just adjust that a touch like that. And this one wants to go over like that. So just to make that clear, if we were to duplicate those, move them up a touch and extrapolate them, now these are running nicer with these. There we go, like that. And then they've just got to continue in this sort of similar fashion. So again, if we do the same thing here, if we duplicate or separate that one and we extrapolate it, GG. So that one's looking okay. Let's just keep that for a sec, and then let's move that over. Let's move these over a touch. Then let's move these, then move these, and then over here we're going to do that. So that's moving that core outwards, which is nice, which makes it's going to give it a wider stance. Let's move that over like that. Okay, so we've got a nice flow going on here. This one here could, let's see, let's separate that. Let's extrapolate this one, GG. and let's move it. Let's move this one out a touch like that. So there's our guide there, and there's the guide. There's the curve that we're following. And let's see. I can go in a touch. We can get rid of these two guys, and let's get rid of that as well. Let's have a look. This can go in, and this one out a little bit, and this one out. And let's have a look at that in top view. And this will be a good point to use our world famous scaling trick. Change that to 0.2. And let's see if we've got any big, what's the word I'm looking for here? Big discrepancies or big inflections, basically, which we do not. So we're looking good. So widest point here. These could potentially move forward like this, and this one out. Let's move these out a little bit as well, and out like that. There we go, good. Right, let's turn off the scaling back to 1, and let's see how that looks. Okay, that I think is looking good. Let's bring everything else back in. Let's see everything in context. Okay, good. Right, so let's have a look at this side as well. So when we apply the subdivision modifier on here, we're going to have this. That's one. So that we're going to have that these vertices here. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to either add some to this side when needed, or yeah, so at the moment we need to add one here, or we move this one back. Oh, let's have a look. I did not anticipate this. Right, so if that one, so we'd have to move that way back here to match this, and those like that. And let's see, we'd have to move this one over like that. We'd still have to add another one here though, wouldn't we? Let's have a look. How far, oops. This would have to go all the way over here. I'd have to go there like that. Let's move that one back. And then let's slide these. Maybe even get rid of those. And then let's move that. Let's move this one back like that. And then let's move this one over. Okay, so then we'd have to move these, slide those back, which would be okay. So I think we're going to have to go with that. Okay, so I think that's going to make life easier for us if we do this. Okay, and then let's see how that looks, shall we? So the geometry looks okay here. We haven't caused any major damage. We got a little bit of a, so what we've got here is an end pole, and which an end pole is a vertex with 3 edges. And what that creates is when you apply your subdivision modifier, it creates a little bit of bunching or sort of increased mesh density around here. So if we could remedy that at this point, if it needs remedying, that is, if it needs fixing, but it could be what's causing this little this little surface, what do you call this? You know, something. Right, let's see what we can do here, shall we? Slide those over. So we've got a square there. What if we... That's looking good, that's looking... So these are, I'm happy with what this is doing. I don't really want to change that. I am tempted to do something like that. And then what we're doing there, basically, we still have a triangle there, which will give us what? It will give us an end pole here. However, we are actually reducing the density, so that should fix that, or improve it anyway, which I think it is. So that's good. That's good, isn't it? Okay. So that's good. So we're happy there. Let's slide this back a little bit just to make this diamond shape a little bit more balanced. Let's move this one back. Let's move these back a little bit as well. And then let's move these over like this. And let's see, we've got a bit of a zigzagging going on. So let's try and remedy that as well. Let's slide these over. There we go. So we've got a much nicer, well, not much nicer, it's exaggerated a bit. We've got a nicer flow there. Let's see if we can pull these back a little bit too to get a nicer flow. So again, that's nicer. And then let's pull these back like so. So again, nicer flow. And you've always got to go with the flow, don't forget. Or actually, not always. And in fact, you should often not go with the flow. And that way you come up with new stuff. But as long as you know what you're doing, don't just do stuff for the sake of it. Right, okay, so that's good. So I think we're ready to move on. Let's slide those. Right, let's just check how these are going to line up. So that's good, that's good, that's good. We will need to make a little adjustment here. So once we apply that subdivision modifier, we'll have to have a little fix up here. So we'll do that. We can actually add an edge, a bevel here, because at the moment these are distributed quite nicely. But here, as you can see, we've got big gap, smaller, and then big, and then small again. So actually, we could fix that a little bit. Not fix it, but you know, we can make a change which makes sense. It's not just a willy-nilly change. Willy-nilly, that's an interesting saying, isn't it? Willy-nilly. Wonder where that comes from. Do you know what? Actually, I am curious to know where that comes from. Willy-nilly. Willy-nilly is an English language idiom, and a slang which describes an activity, an action or event that is done in a disorganized, unplanned or vacillating. God, now I have to Google vacillating. Vacillating, wavering between different opinions or actions. Unplanned or vacillating manner. The term is derived from a Shakespearean expression, will ye, will nil ye. Will ye nil ye? Will ye nil ye? Which is a contraction, and that means whether one wants to or not. Will ye? Ah, that's interesting. Will ye nil ye? Whether one wants to or not. Ah, we've learned something new there. That's interesting, isn't it? Two things there. Vacillating. Is that right? Vacillating? Let's have a look at that word again. Might use that. Vacillating. Wavering between different opinions or actions. I'm not sure. I'm vacillating. I wonder if I've used that correctly. Actually, I might tell you how to use it. He was accused of vacillating leadership. So that would mean that he was wavering, vacillating leadership. So he was the leader, but he wasn't a good leader because he was wavering between different opinions. He was accused of vacillating leadership. Oh man, how do you use that then? I was accused of Hello, I believe that you're vacillating leadership. I'm going to have to learn how to use that properly. I vacillated between teaching and journalism. Thank you very much. Vacillated. Okay, so I'm vacillating between this internet browsing and doing this tutorial. Such a vacillator. Right, okay, let's slide those down. Slide these. And all right, there's a million vertices there. So are we going to even bother trying to line those up, or do we just reduce those ones? I think we're going to reduce those ones. Okay, so that's good. All right, we're going to leave that. This is good. I think we're good here. Let's just snap those to that one more time, just to make sure that we haven't nudged something by accident. That's French for accident. It's not really. Or it could be. Actually, shall we just quickly find out what the French is for accident? In French. Un accident. There's been an accident. Il a eu un accident. Accident. I was right. God, I'm so good at languages. That was a complete guess. I mean, probably all words, you just got to make them sound French. And that's probably it, really. I reckon that's half the battle. I'm doing blender. And that's fluent French. That's French for... actually, no, the proper French would be Je suis blender. So that's fluent French for I'm just doing some blender. And so yeah, that's it really. Right, so we've snapped that to that. Let's have a look. Let's bring everything back in. Let's hide that. And let's see how we're looking there. So that's good. I'm just going to go ahead and join these now. So before we do that, let's change that to main, and we'll call it 0. Let's bring that. Let's look in our outliner. Let's duplicate this bit. So we're going to disable visible, or disable in viewports and disable rendering, and then we're going to apply the subdivision modifier in this one, on this one. So apply, and now we will isolate these components and we will join them and these. Has that got mirror on it? Yes, it does. So we're just going to join those, and we are just going to, so we're going to get rid of this edge here, like so. We've got a little bit of a mess just there, so we're just going to, slide those up, and these, And then we're going to grab these, slide those up. We're just going to quickly check the time, 20 past 6, just to make sure we haven't been on for too long and boring people. I think we might end up, let's have a look what a subdivision modifier would look like on here. We might end up actually just putting a subdivision modifier and fixing a lot of our problems with that. So actually let's undo, and let's just hope that we have enough undos so that we can get, there we go, thank you. Right, so let's get rid of these triangles. So let's quickly go select tool, merge by distance, and let's go tries to quads, and let's quickly change that to 1. Let's change that to 180, and let's have a look if changing this improves. So let's go 1.1, 1.5. Let's move it all the way to 2. So we're trying to, I mean, other than that, this is all, it's done a pretty good job, to be honest. But let's see, 1.5. 1.5 is slightly better than 2. 1.8, 1.9. There was a change. Oops. I did undo there by accident. 1.8. I think we're going to stick with 1.8 because we are happy with what it's doing. We are just going to do a little bit of manual labor here. Where are we? Do we just leave those triangles, leave them be? What we can do with this one is one of these jobbies. And here we could computing, we could move these. Do we want to do that? Let's nudge these up a little bit so that they're balanced. And I think we're just going to leave those. Let's add subdivision modifier. Yeah, those are nice. Actually, we're going to leave those. And then we're going to go to the back. We're going to select all. We're going to merge by distance. And then we're going to go select all. And we're going to turn X-ray mode off. What is this mode that I've just inadvertently, a wireframe? We're going to turn that off. We're going to select that one, select all. We're going to go tries to quads, and I'm not sure what it's done here. Okay, so there's a little, there we go. That's the direction we want to go. So, this one's very precision. So we need just there somewhere like that, just under 1.1, and that is as good as we're going to get. So let's just do a little bit of manual labor here as well. I'm going to delete those and those, and okay, let's join those and then those. And let us, what we're going to do here, what we're going to do here is we're going to get rid of, right, so we've given ourselves quite a bit of work here, but that's okay. Let's snap these like that. Let's go here. Let's just clean that up like so. We're going to get rid of that middle edge loop, like so. We are going to also get rid of this middle loop. Then we're going to add, what we're going to do here actually is, because it's going to be, does it go all the way around? No, it doesn't, does it? It washes out. All right, what we're going to do is just while we're manipulating, we're going to slide those over. We're going to put a crease on that edge, so sharp and crease. We're going to slide, we're going to first of all slide these out like that. So that's looking good. It's looking good. Then we're gonna just gonna snap those to those. Hold on, what's going on here? So that looks like it should be lining up with that one rather than that one. So we're gonna just slide those over. Slide that one and just snap it to there. That one goes to there. That goes to there. That goes to there. That one will go to there, and that one will go to there. That's better, isn't it? We're going to join those and those. We're going to get rid of that. Slide that over. And then we're going to move over to the center. Slide it over, snap that to that. That to there. So this has gone a bit wrong as well. So that should be joined with those. This one to there, that snap to that. We've got a little bit of funny going on here. So let's fix that as well. And let's go there. Let's get rid of these triangles. Let's join these. Get rid of that triangle. Join those. Get rid of that one. Snap those. And let's redo this again. So we're going to slide those over. And then let's get rid of this row here as we did before. And let's carry on up all the way. Like that. And all the way around to, oops, nope. All the way around to the back like that. That's good. Let's have a quick look at the whole thing in context. And let's hide this guide. And that, my friends, is looking good. Okay, very good. So actually at this point, as I always say, what's very important is what's the point? And the point of this is just some fun renders and animations. So we don't really need to go too far into town to fix these surfaces because they are already looking pretty good. The only thing I would say that we do need to fix is over here. This gap looks massive. So we need to fix that. And I think that's because we deleted the flange or the return. So reference. So yeah, we just need to add the return on that. We need to add a little edge to this side here as well. We can use a bevel modifier there, so that'll be nice, won't it? So yeah, let's do that quickly, shall we? Let's select all. Oh, no, let's not. Let's delete a custom split normals. Let's add a weighted normal to that. And then let's toggle that just to see if it fixes some stuff. And I think it does. And over here. So let's apply that. And let's just, so we're going to add an edge to that, a bevel or a fillet if you're that way inclined. So we're going to have, that's going to be a chamfer there or a bevel. Let's snap these to these as we discussed earlier. Now we are back here with this issue which I discussed earlier as well, if you remember. If not, that's okay too. And let's slide these, and let's slide, let's slide these forward like this, and then there you go, that snaps to there. Snap that one to that one, slide that over a little bit. Okay, so we've got that break there. So I think what we're going to do, just to simplify things, just to make life a little bit easier, we're going to just get rid of that split line. Sorry, split line, it's not you, it's me. I'm being, I guess, lazy in a way, but it's been fun. You've done a great job, and I'll still give you a really good reference, but unfortunately, I am going to have to get rid of you. Or am I? Hold on, let me think about this. So, in order for that split line to continue, yeah, it'd be a lot easier just to get rid of it. So yeah, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go back on my word. I am going to get rid of you. So yeah, please pack your bags and get out. Sorry about that, that was quite aggressive. No, please, just when you're ready, please leave the premises. Please leave. No, actually, you can take all your stationery if you want, that's fine. And any fully leaded branded stuff, which is also fine, because it's free advertising for the fully leaded brand, so that's fine. Right, hold on, so we're going to merge these and these. Actually, hold on, let's just do them quickly like this. Get rid of this loop. This one, not those. Merge those and those and those. And we can get rid of those and those that go all the way around there, that's good. And there's a return on there as well, isn't there? So we need to get rid of that. And all right, let's see what we can do here. Let's grab those, and those will go to those like this. That one to there, that one to there, that one there, and we can slide these up to get rid of them. And then we're going to get rid of these. Where's that snap to? There we go, like that. Get rid of that. And what have we got? Oh, that's the B surface. So the B surface is still attached somewhere. Now I did ask you to leave the premises. You're still here, but that's fine. I did say you can take your time. So we will not be calling security just yet. But just a little friendly reminder that we are doing a live stream. So if you could please take your bags and leave. So still attached somewhere. Where is it attached? It's not there, it's not there. I mean, I understand it. We've really enjoyed having you here. There we go, it's there. But it's time to leave now, so thank you very much. Good, right, so let's now simplify matters a little bit. So we're going to just slide these to here and then snap that to that. Then we're going to get rid of that one. Then we're going to slide this one to there and snap that to there, and then get rid of that one. Then, wow, this is going to be a big one here. Let's have a look. Is there subdivision on there? Yes, there is. Okay. So let's move that one normal to those surfaces. Let's move it over a little bit like this. Let's slide that one, and let's give this one a little bit of breathing space. Oops, slide that over like that. And so we're going to aim that one for somewhere like there. So let's grab these. Let's fix this little issue here. And this one down here as well, like that. Oops, not that one, get rid of that one. So we're going to slide these over like this. Then we're going to snap, auto snap, that's good. We're going to get rid of these, and we can get rid of these, and these, and these. Good. Right, let's see how that looks. So that looks good. Oh, we've got something funny going on here. We haven't fixed this yet, have we? Okay, so as I said before, what we're going to do here is we're going to grab this edge loop here, and we're going to bevel it like so. And then we're going to deselect these ones, and we're going to slide these over like this, and that's nice. That's snapped onto there. And let's see, do we need to get rid of this one? Yes, I believe we do. So let's do that. And let's see what's going on here. Okay, so it's looking good. We could do a little reduction somewhere. Hold on, what's going on here? Oops. Right, let's join those two, and then let's slide. That's looking like quite a nice straight line all the way from the front, so we don't want to change that. But what? If we just move it up, what would happen? If we slid that, oh no, hold on. So if we added one there, yeah, we have, okay, hold on. Let me have a think. What if we did this? If we did that, and then we added a triangle here, slid these over, like so. And then we can continue these like that, and those like that. Okay, good. So I was going to say strawberries there for some reason. There's a load of strawberries. I was trying to say triangles, but I said strawberries instead. Now, I wonder if there's a psychological reason for this. Am I thinking of strawberries? I would love some strawberries right now, actually. Strawberries are great. But are they my favourite fruit? I'm not sure if they're my favourite. I guess it depends on the season. But my favourite fruit of all time, without question, is a really good mango. They are absolutely just an incredible sensation. But when I say mangoes, I don't mean the ones you get just the regular supermarkets in England, because they're pretty rubbish. I'm talking about the ones you get in Thailand or in India or in Australia. Those mangoes are just different level. Absolutely, what an incredible sensation. So what I would say is, if you can, go to Thailand and eat some mangoes, or India if it's closer, or Australia. Yeah, just honestly, just jump on an aeroplane or a boat and go and eat some mangoes, because they are just incredible. And then what else? What other fruits is there? So mango's number one, 100%. I mean, I do like strawberries, don't get me wrong. And would I say they're my second favourite fruits? Maybe. I might even go as far as saying strawberries are my second favourite fruits. Strawberries. I mean, there must be a reason why I just said strawberries there instead of triangle. So yeah, maybe strawberries are my second favourite fruit. I'm not sure if I'd have them together with mangoes. What I would have together with strawberries is bananas. That's a great combo. Just chop up some strawberries and bananas and make a delicious fruit salad. That's one of my favourite fruit salads. I quite like to chuck in a couple of grapes in there as well, actually, just for the texture. I think more than anything, it gives it a somewhat what's the word I'm looking for? There's a word I'm looking for there, which means God, it's completely gone from my brain. The word I'm looking for is not classy. Another word like classy. Sophisticated. Oh, I'm so glad I remembered that. So if you're having so what I'm doing here is basically I'm just going around the model and fixing up any obvious sort of bunching or stuff that's going to give us funny highlights, and then just either reducing it or just making small adjustments. In the ideal world, I would have all the time in the world, and we can make this perfect. However, we have a limited amount of time because I can hear stuff going on upstairs. So soon, I will have to jump off and carry on with life. But just very quickly, going back to the strawberries, if you're having a delicious strawberry and banana fruit salad and you want to make it a little bit more sophisticated, put some grapes in there, and then straight away you'll be much more sophisticated. As I say, I think it's the textures really that does it, but it's a brilliant combination. It's so refreshing. It's I mean, even talking about it is refreshing. So imagine how refreshing it is when you actually do it. So just go ahead. If you've got some strawberries in the kitchen, pause this video and go and make some strawberry and bananas fruit salad, and I would have it just like that. Don't add anything to it, and that's it. And it will just improve your day. If you have one in the morning, that's it. You're set for the whole day. You'll be refreshed. You'll be happy, and you'll have a brilliant topic of conversation to discuss with people. Right, so let's see how this is looking. Let's clear custom split normals, and let's see what's going on here. Okay, so we can add what's going on here as well. This is a bit funny. Is there duplicates there or something? Very simple. Oh, there we are. There we are. Nice try. Tried to smuggle in an extra vertex there, but we spotted him straight away. Nice try, and I can see why these additional vertices might want to be here. This is a brilliant model, but unfortunately, there's just no need for you, I'm afraid. So we just had to get rid of him. Okay, good. Right, what's going on up here? There's something funny here as well. Let's snap that to there. Okay, good. Right, so let's have a look. This is a little bit annoying, so let's just fix this as well. These are a bit funny. What's going on here? Let's get rid of those like that, and then let's turn off snapping. Turn off snapping. Let's turn off X-ray. And let's... we were going to get rid of these, weren't we? Let's get rid of a few of these. Let's see how that looks. That looks better. Better. And we could probably get rid of a couple more there, actually. So we're using the subdivision to our advantage here. So that was previously done for just polygon. So you need more geometry to define corners and round edges. But here we're going to be using the subdivision modification to our advantage. There we go, that's looking good. Let's have a look at it in context. That's good. So there's a little bit of a dent in there. So let's see if we can have a little fix of that. There we go, that's good. Let's see what's going on back there. There's it looks like a rogue vertex. So actually that's all hidden behind there, so we don't need to mess with those. But we can see a little bit of an inflection just there. So let's go in the view like that, and then just pull those out just like that, and then pull those back in. So it's going to improve that flow. And remember to always go with the flow, unless you have an idea or there's a good reason why not to go with the flow. And then you choose to go against the grain, in which case, honestly, good luck, because often that's where good ideas are spawned, from going against the grain. No one ever made big changes by doing exactly the same thing every day, all the time. Right, so let's now grab, let's grab this loop of edges all the way around here and all the way down there. And then we're going to change this to normal, and then we're going to a view which describes that best, something like that. And then we're going to go E, and then middle mouse button, and then we're going to create a nice return like that. Let's see how we're looking on this side. So it's not quite normal, so that's done an average normal of all of those edges. Now there is a shortcut for extrude normal, but I've changed that shortcut to something else, so it wouldn't do it. And I'm curious to know if Alt S would have done a better job. I am curious. Right, so let's just undo my key map, key binding, Alt S. So I have changed it to toggle context. So if we undo that, if we undo this, and and if we bring it back, so I wonder if it's this one. Is it this one? Let's restore. Right, let's save first. Curves, and I wonder if it's that one. Mesh, Control Alt S. Oh, is it going to change that as well though? Ah, it has changed that one. Alt S. Oh, I've done it now anyway, so key binding Alt S. Right, so let's see if I delete that, go back to that edge, and now do Alt S. Will it give us a better? It's not done it at all, has it? Hold on, what's that doing? Alt S. So that's just moving, shrink, flatten. So do we need to do extrude first and then Alt S? No, that doesn't work at all, does it? I'm gonna have to go back to that tutorial. So in this tutorial, what I saw was someone doing something like this, and they went Alt S. Ah, they were just using that, weren't they? Ah. So what they did like a bevel like that. Then they grabbed those and they went Alt S. But all that does is Alt S, shrink, flatten. All that is this one here, isn't it? Shrink, flatten. Which is not what we want. So I've just changed my shortcuts for no reason. That's a little bit annoying. And what was the other one I changed? Right, never mind. Right, let's just carry on. Okay, actually, Control Alt S was my shortcut for loop tools space. So that was my shortcut for Control Alt S. So let's Control Alt S. There we go. And so that's good. That's reinstated. Let's save. Let's go to my other shortcut was Alt S. Alt S was to turn my subdivision on and off, so I can quickly do that. So let's go back to here. Let's go to Alt S, key binding, and Alt S is Windows save. Where is it? Under mesh? No, not mesh. Under curves. Is it this one? Alt S. Curves, transform, Alt S. Alt S, shrink, flatten. There it is. So we need to delete that one, and then this one, right click, assign shortcut, Alt S. So now we can quickly turn that on and off. And then actually let's go back into here. Let's save this, close that. Let's save the file as well, just to make sure. And then let's go back to this. Right, so what I want to do is I want to do a normal return on this, but I want it to be normal all the way around. Now, it would seem that you can only do local, you can only do the whole thing. Oh, I wonder if this will do it. So let's try that. Is that going to do it as well? Nope. Let's do, so local, I mean it is normal, it's that, isn't it? So if I did that now, that would be normal, but each one of them is different. And what it does, rather than doing individual, it does Individual origins. I wonder if that does it. Okay, let's try that. Let's grab all of those, extrude, and is that doing it there? I'm going to hazard a guess that it's not normal. Flip normals. No, it's definitely not. Okay, so a workaround to that. So Mr. Blender, if you're listening, please fix that, or please create a tool that does that. I'm sure there is a tool that does that. But yeah, what we can do here, and this is quite a long-winded workaround, but if we duplicate this quickly and rename this one as help without an E, then what we can do here is we can add a thickness modifier or solidify modifier. Let's get rid of these and these. So now all of these are normal to that edge. Let's make that 5 thickness, even thickness, fill, and then if we apply that, then we will have a return exactly how we want it. So we select that, select invert, delete faces, and then we're going to delete everything other than the bit we need, which is that. So now we select that, select invert, delete those, and now we can go select those two and join, and now we've got exactly what we want, albeit it took a little while. So now let's just grab that edge and let's take off the creasing and let's add a bevel modifier on there. Let's go to add a bevel modifier there. Let's make it 1, let's make it 2 there. Let's change that to weight rather. And then let's see how that looks, shall we? Bevel weight, subdivision modifier on. It looks very sharp, doesn't it? Why does it look so sharp? Select all, make sure that the normals are facing the same direction as each other. And let's turn wireframe on. Why are we not seeing the wireframe? Wireframe on. What have we done here? Wireframe. Have we? Oh no! Have I reset? Oh my! Have I reset all? I've deleted all my shortcuts when I did this. That's very annoying. Wow, that's okay. So when you press, I can't believe that's happened. Oh no, has it? Restore. I think when you press restore, it doesn't do just the page that's open, it restores everything. That is so annoying. So I can't believe that's just happened. Add shortcut, W. Right, W. And let's turn on subdivision on there. So why is that bevel not working? Is it the scale? No, the scales are good. That bevel weight is 1. This is set to weight. That's 1, that's 2. It's not doing anything. Why is this? Is it something to do with this one? Let's get rid of that one. So I think what we've got is somewhere along the line, we've got some bunched up vertices which are stopping that from working. So let's have a look for those bunched up vertices somewhere. Actually what we can do is we can just merge by distance to start with. And that has not fixed it. So we've got some rogue. Actually hold on. Has it fixed it? So if we just delete these sharp creases and delete clear sharp and add a bevel weight to that, that still has not fixed it, but why not? Why not? So somewhere along here, I think there's a rogue vertex. Or could it be these vertices that are causing it? It could be. I think it might be these actually. So if we just get rid of those vertices there that are not part of a square. Let's see if that fixes it. It's not looking promising though. There we go. Let's continue this all the way down here. And let's see what's going on there. Could it be this triangle here? I don't think so. Okay. Let's see about continuing that down there instead. Oh, I've turned that off now. There it is. So the issue was, I don't even know what the issue was now because that was turned off at the time of discovering the issue. Anyway, the good news is we've discovered the issue and we fixed it. So that's good, isn't it? Let's pull this out and let's pull these and that one like that. Okay, it's looking good, it's looking good. Okay, so let's add this chamfer here to the, oh no, let's fix, let's just clean this up a little bit as well. Let's change this to 0.1 so it doesn't snap to random neighbors. Slide these over. Let's see, do we want to get rid of any of these? Perhaps that one or the next one down actually. Yeah, let's grab these. Slide those up. And then what this will allow us to do is to reduce the density over here. And then what that will mean is that we can work with these a little bit easier. Oh, it really has deleted all my shortcuts. This is very annoying. Right, what's the shortcut for that? So that was Alt 1. On and off. And this one I use all the time as well. So that's B. That's good. Okay, and then let's quickly finish this off. So let's just grab these over here. These. Come on, man. This one and all of these and these all the way down to here. Not that one. And let's extrude those in X. Oops, I'm in normal mode still, so let's undo that. Extrude in X like so. And we want to go we want to go what's this called again? Shrink flatten. So that will pull those round to the back, and then we can just nudge. So we're trying to get these two closer, so we're just gonna, oops, actually no, let's just nudge them over, and then we can just, actually how far is that? Oh, that's way down there. Okay, let's go back to here. Let's use this tool here to bring these back. So let's open this one up, and what we can do, if we zoom in here, we can make micro adjustments to get that one closer, and then let's snap that to that. And that's pulling out a little bit, so let's just quickly grab these, and let's go G, nudge, 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 like that. And then with these, what can we do here to make that? That's miles away from there, but let's see how that looks. From the inside, from the outside, not sure there. So what I think we need to do is, if we just grab all of these, please. Make sure this is the last one selected. Make sure pivot point is active element. And then let's rotate these. And let's go into here again, because it's also deleted my shortcut for Alt S in the other mode. Alt S in edit mode. Object mode, edit mode. Alt S in edit mode should turn, oh no, actually we just do it in here, don't we? So Alt S to turn off subdivision. Hold on, so if we go to edit mode, we right click here and it's already in there, but it's not, oh no, it does work. No, it does work. Sorry, my bad. Right, okay, let's fix. So we can delete this crease off here and clear sharp. And I think we're now ready to add the bevel to here. So to grab those and that one, and we're going to just zoom right into here. We're going to go bevel, and we're going to just zoom in, change that to 1, and we want this to be aiming roughly for there. So this could be, let's change that to 1, see how it looks at 2. 2's a little bit too much, let's go 1.5, 1.6. Okay, that's good. Now while we're still here, take off crease, clear sharp. Let's slide that one and that one like that. And let's, oh, there's not one on the bottom, eh? Okay. So let's slide these up, and this one over there, that one will go there, that one will go there like that. And then, oh, what is this mess here? And that is indeed a mess, so let's just fix that mess. So these are pulling that edge over. Let's get rid of that. And also, let's move these over like that. Let's move this down. And then let's wash this out somewhere else. So let's pull that to there. Let's pull that one to there. And then let's pull that down to there. Let's grab the rest of this Let's grab the rest of that edge, and then let's just extrude it inboard so it lines up with that one, and then let's move it. Let's move that inboard in X. So we're roughly aiming for that to be aimed towards that one, that vertex there, so we can isolate those. And then let's move that in X. That's good in this view. And then in this view, I think we want to leave that where it is, and we can just rotate that slightly like that. And then just join those. Let's unhide all that. Let's patch that up there. Beautiful. And there we have a beautiful wheel arch. And I wonder, while we're here, if we want to make that a little bit sharper. And so this shortcut here was toggle this. So that was Shift and Z. Add assign shortcut Shift and Z. Okay, so let's undo that quickly. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select. We're going to select that edge or that loop of faces, and then we're going to add a bevel in there, and then we can see it. So we can see it. No, I think I was trying to be too clever there. But anyway, right, this is how it looks without. And this is with a slightly sharper crease, which I think we want. And if we zoom right in there, let's increase that smoothness to somewhere there. And we've got a nice sharp crease. There we go, very nice. And then let's have a look at this return here. I wonder if you go back on itself as well. So let's have a look. At the before, which is there. So that actually shoots down there, and that's quite big. So we need to shoot down there. But I think we'll keep that thinner because it looks a little bit more better. So let's grab these, and we're going to go grab these and that one, and then we're going to go extrude Z, turn snapping off. Let's align those scale Z. Let's move those up in Z, G, Z, like so. Let's make sure that's not crashing through anything that's visible, so I think we're looking good. And then over here, let's change that to 2. Let's move this up so it matches that. So if we separate that on its own, we can just align it. Either align it or we just delete it and build a new one. I think we're going to just build a new one. So if we just grab those and those and those, and and that one, separate. Then we're going to grab those and just grab this area here. Then we're going to go separate. Then we're going to select that. We're going to offset. So glad it didn't delete my other shortcuts as well. So we're just going to offset those like that. We're going to build some faces across there like that. Then we're going to grab that edge. So actually we need a return on there as well, don't we? So if we just grab those quickly, and those, and those undo that, those bottom ones there, all the way to the front. And if we just go in top view, we can offset those in the opposite direction, something like that. And we'll just go select those, and we'll go loop tools, bridge, select all. We're going to just recalculate outside. We're going to just select that bottom one there, and we're going to put a bevel weight on there as well. So we've got a nice little face there, and also a nice mess just there. So what we need to do here is fix that mess by undoing. So when I did the bridge there, it didn't quite work. So the alternative there is just to go select those, face, select that edge there, and face, and it will just go all the way around, and you can just monitor it going round. Stop, move over to here, and let's see what happens around this corner. Okay, that's much better. Okay, good, thank you very much. All the way to the front, please. Then we're going to select that edge again, and that one, and that one. We're going to put bevel weight 1 on there. Good, there we go. Okay, and then we're going to grab this. What was that? Was that part of that? So we can just delete that one, and we've got our own new one here. Let's go up, and let's just build something similar, I guess, or something that looks like it might have a function, I guess. So let's just grab those, let the bottom ones follow the top somewhat. That's going to be that little sort of scoop inlet thing that was in there. So we're just going to grab these. Let's have a look at it from a different angle. Let's bring everything back in this view. We can move this to our spares collection, and that is perhaps going a bit too low. So if we go up to there like that, scale that down, move this up in Z, GZ like that. Then we need to go to move. So this was another shortcut, wasn't it? Shortcuts, Shift spacebar G. Shift spacebar G. No, that's a lie. Move. Shortcuts, Shift spacebar. Oh, Shift spacebar or G. So Shift spacebar G. That's long-winded. So my shortcut used to be something else. Oh, I can't remember what I think it was Control M for move, but actually it should be something with a G. What if you make it... Right, let's move those over. Let's get this done. Right, let's move that up. So we've got a bit of a crash going on down there with that, but if we could just get it to sit on top of that, how would that look? So if that sits, oh, it doesn't need to go all the way there either actually, so hold on. So we can get rid of those, slide these back, and then we can get it to sit on top of that. So if we just go up here, like this, let's go side view, see what the time is, 7:20. Okay, it's time to finish up for the day. For the morning, I mean, sorry, not the day. The day's just begun. Let's see how that's looking there. Let's move those over a little bit like that. And let's grab these, offset those, slide that over. Let's create a square there, and let's put one here as well. See how that looks. That looks like it's twisting quite severely. So we're just going to make a little adjustment, little adjustment there like that. Slide those over, slide this, move these, slide those like that. We want to make that one a smaller, actually no, let's put 3 in there, like that. There we go, okay, oops. Let's see what that's doing in there. This is quite an awkward 3-dimensional shape to be working with, which is why you need to always be checking these things from all views like this. And let's see how we're looking here. Okay, that looks a bit basic, but it's just a bit of just a little bit of detail there, which will be, looks like actually quite visible. So how does it look when it's dark? Link materials, there we go, you can't really see it, and it gives it a little finish there. Right, I think I'm going to just call it for this morning, but as you can see, it is starting to look absolutely stunning. This is fast becoming one of my favorites. I think what I'm going to do, actually, I'm just going to treat myself quickly to a little bit of camber. So let's go, so we've got mirror on there already. And we've got camber on there already as well. Now let's make sure that's at 0. Let's put the cursor to selected. Let's select all. Let's put origin to cursor. Then what we're going to do here is we're just going to quickly turn off the mirror modifier on all of these. So what I did there is I selected one, and I know that they all have the same modifier. So if you select all, if you hold down Alt, this will turn on the modifier on everything selected that has that modifier. That's a brilliant little trick I learnt. Okay, so what we're going to do here quickly is we're going to just flatten. We're going to basically take out the camber just to put it back in again, but for good reason. So let's select those, merge by distance, select those. Let's put a plane in there. Let's select that plane. Where is that plane? Is that it there? Yes it is. Let's clear custom split normals. Let's select all. Let's put bisect right through the middle, like that. Put a 1 in there, clear outer. Then what we're going to do is we're going to select that face, and then we're going to hit Shift and 7. Then we're going to add a Shift and 7. Then we're going to add a empty to view. Now the empty, okay, that's good. Okay, and now we can delete that. That was our guide. Then we're going to bring the wheel back up. Okay, that's put it there and not where I was expecting it to put. Right, let's go back to here. Let's delete that. Let's try that again. Oh, I didn't put the... Right, so let's select this face. Shift 7. Let's put cursor to selected. Then let's put our empty at that point. But make it view, align it to view. Then we can put that at 0. And then we can rename that rotates. And then what we can do is you can find it in here. We can delete that guide. We can hide the scalar for now. Where's the rest of the wheel? Let's hide the scalar for now, and then let's parent. So that's going to be, let's rename that wheel, and let's hide everything that won't turn with the wheel. So this won't turn, this won't turn, that won't turn, these won't turn, these won't turn as part of the badge, these won't turn, these won't turn, the caliper certainly won't turn with the wheel. Okay, there's quite a lot of bits to the caliper, which is a little bit annoying. I wonder if we can just select them all there. Brilliant. Oh, brilliant. They're named correctly. Thank you so much, whoever built this, for naming the stuff correctly. No, but you have not. Okay, so I retract my gratitude. Okay, let's quickly select those. It would have been probably quicker to select the opposite, but I've done this far now, so yeah, let's just carry on. So we're selecting all the bits that don't turn with the wheel. So as I said, caliper and that front cap that goes on top of the wheel, on front of the wheel. There we go, hiding, 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 hiding. Come on, hiding, 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 hiding. Any more? Hiding. Okay, back of the caliper. Please let that be it. More stuff there. Select all. Wireframe on. Oh, it only does wireframe of the last thing selected. Okay, right, so good. So let's start by making this a little bit smaller because it's massive. And then with that selected, we're going to go select all. Actually, before we do that, let's move our 3D cursor to there. Select all. Origin to 3D cursor. Now let's parent everything to that empty, which is called rotate. So let's make it capitals, just to keep it clean. Then let's hide that. Let's select all again. Let's move origin to 3D cursor. Let's go to our rotates group. Let's hide that. Let's select that and then select all. Let's parent everything to that. Let's rename that capitals as well. Then let's move rotates into wheel. Then let's find rotates in wheel, which is there. Then let's let's do you know what, we haven't flattened it yet. So what we need to do is change this to 90. Change this to 90, so that's 1 degrees, and then change this to 1. Change this, oh, would it be this one to 0 then? What have I done here? Hold on, let's undo that. I'm gonna have to, right. Hide this, select all. Let's clear that. Let's group everything to that empty, or let's parent it rather. Hold on, I've done a mistake here. So we're going to undo until the point where I rotated that, which is there, right? Select, hide that, select all, unparent, select that, select all, go to parent, set parent, select that, change it to 90, and now when we rotate, okay, good, that's worked. Okay, right, let's select all, make sure origin is that 3D cursor. Now this time we're going to select everything that does turn, because I think that would be easier. So select all of those, select those. So it's basically that caliper that was causing us all that hassle. So let's select the disk brake disk. Right, let's select all of these, and actually let's just join them. So it's one item, one object. Let's bring everything back in. Then let's hide that and that, and these, and these, and these, and these, and these, and this. So what we're going to be left with is only the bits that do rotate. So select, hide that, select the empty called rotates. Let's clear parenting, and let's, all right, select all, unhide, hide, select all, unhide. Let's select all of these, and then let's unparent, let's hide rotates, select that, call it wheel, select everything, parent. I feel like I'm making a right mess of this, hold on. We are almost there. Right, rotates. So all the stuff that's in wheel we can hide, and then select that, select all, parent. And then let's move that parent, or that rotates into wheel. Then we're going to add a driver to rotates. Right click, add driver. Let's change that to minus in there, and let's oops, what have I done here? Let's delete this driver. Delete drivers. Let's do that again. Right click, add driver. Let's change that to scalar. Let's change edit driver. Let's change that to Y location. Let's make that minus like that. Let's add a little bit of camber. This is actually where it all began. So let's turn our, let's turn the mirror modifiers back on. Let's add a little bit of camber to the wheel. And then hopefully when we've moved that scalar to here, Let's move that to there. Let's move the wheels into scalar. Let's get rid of that empty, that collection. Let's just move those in here for now. And now when we move the scalar, the wheels will turn, but the front will not, which is how I believe these wheels work. So I think that cover stays upright at all times. I mean, I could check. I'll just go outside and check. Hold on, what's going on here? What are these doing here? Spares. Crafty. Right, so now, if we select that, put some perspective on. So now if we move that, the wheel will turn, but that front bit will not. So that's good, isn't it? How good is that? If I say so myself. So this has been an incredible journey. All the ups and downs. I'm very glad I documented it all. I think what I'm going to do next is add a little bit of realism to some of these items. Like, for example, this could do with being a little bit more realistic looking. And see what else. Yeah, a little bit of manipulation of, let's see what's going on here. So we've got two bonnets there as well. That's the old one, if you remember. So bonnet original, we can turn that one off and disable rendering. We've got a little bit of a rogue geometry there. So let's hide those. And yeah, that's it. We're going to call it a day there. As always, I've really enjoyed this live stream, and I hope you have too. I hope you've learned some stuff. And please do join me again next time for another one. Have a brilliant day. Thank you very much.